A sitting member of Congress just accused 80 million Americans of being mentally ill, and then with a straight face asked for bipartisanship. But White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt dropped the hammer on her at an official press conference. You've got to see this. I'm Kyle Becker, and welcome to Explain America. Please like, comment, and share to stand with patriotic Americans who are sick of being misled by the mainstream media. Well, here's what happened. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett launched a stunning attack during an appearance on Katie Couric's podcast, calling Trump supporters sick, mentally ill, and claiming they're part of a delusional cult. Watch.
This idea that we don't care how many people get hurt, we don't care how we prostitute our service members, thinking that you have your own special little army that's for you. I mean, it is sick. It is really sick. And anybody that supports it is also sick. And so, we've got a mental health crisis in this country because everyone, no matter how you affiliate yourself, should be against Trump, period. This is not partisan for me. I would give anything to have, sad to say, George Bush. Give me any regular Republican nowadays and I would be happy. But right now we have someone who does not care, and he is being enabled by the fact that there are, people that follow him and they pump him up, as well as the people that are surrounding him. And so, my heart breaks for service members, people that signed up to protect democracy and freedom, not only here, but abroad, and were willing to risk their lives. And now, literally, the very thing that they signed up to fight against is now their commander-in-chief. It really breaks my heart. And I don't know how far he has to go before we can come together and just say, enough is enough. This should not be partisanship.
Jasmine Crockett continued by claiming she'd even give anything to have George W. Bush back. Quote, "Give me any regular Republican nowadays and I would be happy," unquote, she said, apparently unaware that her own party once called Bush a war criminal. But it didn't take long for White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt to respond, and her smackdown was one for the books. Watch this.
She is a rising star. It's quite something to behold, actually. I hope that she continues to be a rising star for the Republican Party, at least. I think it's incredibly derogatory to accuse nearly 80 million Americans of mental illness. The last time I checked, Jasmine Crockett couldn't dream of winning such a majority of the public as President Trump did. And the America First movement, which President Trump has built, is filled of hardworking patriots, the forgotten men and women, business owners, law enforcement officers, nurses and teachers, and middle America, as we all know, from where you all grew up, outside of this beltway. That's who makes up this president's movement. And Jasmine Crockett should go to a Trump rally sometime and she can see it for herself.
Trump supporters are just common sense, hardworking Americans who want to raise their children in peace, be left alone by the government, keep a fair share of what they make, not have to pay too much for groceries and for rent and for other housing costs. And Jasmine Crockett is just demeaning them as mentally ill because they're fed up with Washington, D.C., who is absolutely wrecking the United States. We have $36 trillion in debt. We've been dragged into multiple wars all across the world that have ended badly for everyone involved. And the Americans are quite sick of it. They sent their sons and daughters to fight in wars overseas and pay the ultimate price. And they pay taxes for radical NGOs to study Zimbabwean folk dancing and LGBTQ plays in India, these types of programs. And we're really tired of it. And she is on the side of the U.S. government being abused to continuously exploit Americans, not represent their views. The Democratic Party is out of touch with most of Americans' views, and they don't represent the will of the people, yet still call themselves Democratic. So the majority of Americans are against what the radical Democratic Party stands for. And yet they still call themselves Democrats. Well, if they were really Democrats, they would start listening to us. And apparently Jasmine Crockett is incapable of it. If you like this story, please like, comment, and share. We'd like to hear from you about your thoughts about the future of the Democratic Party, and we appreciate it.